Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Pauline. I make art and craft videos. So in this video, we're going to be making a koi fish pond out of polymer clay. And I'm starting off by watering my plants because why not? Anyway, let's get into the video. I am showing you my setup, the equipments I'm going to be using for today, and watching anime on the side, okay? And yeah, that's my little sketch of what we're doing today. Very rough sketch. So we're going to be using a mold for this because your girl is on a time crunch. And anyway, so you see how I kneaded the clay together, and now I'm kind of like massaging it into the mold to make sure it fits. Initially, I planned to use 3 koi fish in the pond, but I opted out for 2. So anyway, this is the result of one of them after I came out of the mold, and now I am putting in the colors. I'm using the soft pastels to bring the koi fish to life. I took my time with this part because I wanted each koi fish that I made to be different from each other. I actually created 3, even though you guys see only 2 in this video, but I wanted each of them to be completely different with different patterns, of course. It was so fun to paint these fishes, oh my gosh. For this particular fish, I layered my color. I started off with a undertone of yellow, and then I glazed it with an orangey color to make it pop, if you know what I mean. Now on to making the pond. I'm mixing black and white together to make a grayish rock-like texture. Not really texture, color, I would say. It honestly looks like a marble. But I like the color, so I kind of rode with it. Rode with it, get it? Anyway, here I am popping the bubbles and smoothing everything out with a little roller and closing up any imperfections. Once I'm done closing up all the little holes and I'm happy with the way it looks, I cut it out with my little circle cutter. Once I got my shape, I just fix up the edges, make sure it's smooth and not rough. And that's pretty much it with the base. And now I'm making the actual wall to the pond. I decided to make the walls of the pond to look like stacks of rocks. I researched a bunch of ponds to see what I like. That seems to be what I gravitated towards, just like a bunch of ponds with like little rocks, not little rocks, but like a bunch of layers of rocks around them, and I really like that, so I figured I'll recreate that with this. So the initial beginning was a bunch of try and errors to see what fits the pond the most, or what I like the most, and I went with it. So I decided to use Sculpey liquid glue to help glue the clays properly together. Even though you guys didn't see this part, but the base, the little circle, was already baked because I thought it would be much easier to move around, and also it would be easier to manipulate the stones around it, since I don't have to worry about the shape of the base, like the circle warping or changing its shape because I'm pushing the stones against it, if you know what I mean. When you're working, you really have to find what works for you and what makes your job easier, and I thought this would make it so much easier for me this way, and that's what I'm doing. Anyway, Hope you guys are liking the video so far. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, a little shout out. Okay, and also check out my store as well too. The link will be in the comment section down below or in the description. Anyway, back to the video. Okay, a little bit promotion there. And just like that, we are done with the bottom row of the rocks. And initially I thought this was it. I was just gonna leave it the way it is, but then I was like, since I put the fishes in there just to see the height of the fish, just to test it out, and I found out that okay, yeah, I actually need to make them a little bit higher because I'm going to, put resin in it to mimic a little bit of water in them, and I wanted it to be a little bit higher, so that's why I added more stones to make it a little bit high elevated. Anyway, yeah, that's what we are doing in this part. The beautiful thing about this is I don't have to worry about the stones looking uniform. Like, they all are unique. Seriously, they don't have to look the same. So I enjoyed it and I really have fun. Like, there's something about just freestyling that just makes you free. When you're creating, you just go with the flow. I like that. Don't have to worry about measurements and all that. That is so relieving. Okay, look at that. We are done with the pond. Well, not really. We're done with the walls and the foundation. Now we're on to making little bushes, I would say. I was just showing you the two that I was using to put in the textures to make them look like little bushes or like grass, I would say. But oh my gosh, I love making this texture. I feel like I use it in most like trinket trays that I create. But anyway, don't mind me, I'm just going to town with this. Alright, creating the lily pad. Actually, I think I kind of forgot, because initially when I was resining, I was going to put the lily pads on top and I kind of left them at the bottom, but it's fine, it's completely fine. So that's something I will try out next time I do this. I'm gonna try to put the lily pads on top of the resin and not really have them at the bottom. But anyways, now I am creating little rocks or little stone pebbles that's going to be at the bottom of the pond. And I like this idea. I use different colors to mimic stones because most of them don't always have the same color. When you look into a pond or something or a body of water, there's always different colors of stones. Anyway, I'm putting in the eyes and the fishies, bringing it to life. And of course, things don't always go the way you want. Yeah, that happened. I just wiped it off with a Q-tip, and you didn't see this part, but I kind of painted it back up. I used white gouache paint and just covered it back up. Good thing that part was actually white, so it was easy to just cover it up with a white paint. And we're back to business. Here I'm just spreading out the pebbles, spreading everything out and getting the whole pond ready for resin because we're pretty much done. Alright, this is what I'm going to be using for the resin. I'm just dumping the remaining resin from this bottle into the cup. It's actually finished. It was almost finished, and I'm going to be using the other resin to add to it, and I'm putting in a little bit of blue chalk pastel into the resin to make it look more oceany. You know what I mean? To make it look like a little bit of, you know, clear water. Once I'm happy with the color that I want, I mix everything up and then I pour it back into the pond and spread it out with the silicone stick that you saw me using earlier. I had to work a little bit quickly in this part because the walls are joined, but the joint parts have a little bit of opening, so the resin tends to seep out of that part. So I have to be quick, spread everything out, and use the UV light to harden it as much as I can before all the resin spills out. It definitely took longer to cure the resin because of the amount of resin that I use. Usually I've never made anything this thick with resin before, so it took some time. But honestly, I love the end result. 100% recommend if you want to try this out. Love it, love it. Oh my goodness, definitely trying this again, and you will find this piece in my shop. Please check it out. If you haven't checked out my shop already, please check it out. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it to the end, please like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.